Molly did kind of come.
Yeah, that looks gross. It looks kind of like ice cream. Hey, I'm Allison.
Hey, I'm Rory.
This is The Probe.
And The Probe is a show where we play sexy video games and review them.
Today we're playing a game I'm super excited about.
Yeah.
Because it's a Sailor Moon fan adult video game.
So it was fan-made? Well, I guess like, obviously
I mean, yeah, it's definitely not official.
It's not official.
Okay. The title of this game is called AheAhe Moon R, Return of the Married Sailor Sluts. Sounds great.
Once upon a time, there were crime-fighting magical heroines who protected the planet from harm. Now Sailor Moon, aka Usagi Tsukino, and friends are grown women living normal lives. That's right. All 5 sailor soldiers are sad sack aging women with nothing and no one special in their lives.
It sounds amazing.
And it rings a little too true.
Oh. Let's get started.
Let's slut it up. Bing! Whoa! Holy mother! Oh,
Let me look at
my
the options.
God.
Turn the music
Look
down.
at this! You can change the nipple color.
What? Well, which one do you want, Rory? Light or dark?
Darker.
Really?
Yeah, you can see them better.
So this has got to be Usagi.
Why am I doing something like this?
Oh wait, this is a boy.
This is like a narrator?
I guess.
The boy, Naru Umino, swallowed hard while that question raced through his mind. Oh, so this is not Sailor Moon. This is just some boy that she's gonna fuck.
Oh, maybe.
Ah! Look at that.
Girl, you
Are
gotta
those-
shave.
Yeah, oh yeah, those are hairy.
What the fuck is happening here?
She's gonna squeeze out some
Also,
milk in her face.
Blah. Is she dying? Do you want to just skip past this? He came in her.
Yeah, belting night and
Da 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 da.
Turn the page.
Turn the page. Coming inside. Coming into her womb.
It's time to jet of semen. Jet.
Semen jet. Inside of me.
It's coming still. It's shooting.
I mean,
I
how-
love you.
how
I
long-
love you. I love you.
She doesn't love you.
You're so cruel.
All right. Click, click, click.
Oh!
Did they come over?
I guess so. They had
Okay.
a little meeting.
The former heroines, as more and more time passed, turned into fully ripened women. Bitches! Why do they have to be bitches? The scent of aroused bitches!
They need to make that a Yankee Candle. Aroused bitches.
Dude, I can make candles. As a male, his crotch began to swell despite his conflicted emotions. Would you guys buy a candle called Aroused Bitches? What would it smell like?
Aroused bitches.
And so, the days of Naru serving as a source of sexual release for Usagi and her friends began. So it really is just gonna be him the whole time.
Yeah, I guess so.
Alright. So guys, we've played Married Sailor Moon Sluts. What'd you think overall?
I mean, it was fun because I do like Sailor Moon and I'm a fan, so it was just fun to see the sailors in such a disgusting situation.
Kind of. I liked it, like, generally mostly just because it was Sailor Moon. Like, that's... If this were not a Sailor Moon game, whatever. I'm not gonna get too much into my review before we review it. So basically how this game worked was you are the son of Molly and Melvin. I don't know their Japanese names.
Umino and Naru. So they
it's
combined the
Naruo.
names,
Yeah,
so it was Naruo.
That's clever.
Yeah.
And you are apparently a childhood friend of Chibiusa.
And you've always had a crush on Serena or
Yeah.
Usagi, whichever you
yeah.
go for.
Yeah, and so the game starts with you peeping on her in her room, and I'm not sure why you're there.
And it's not the Crystal Castle or Palace
No, she's
from
just in
Crystal
a-
Tokyo. It's just,
a boring apartment.
Yeah.
Just a boring apartment. Naruo is the tutor of the youngest kid who was not in the TV show at all, or the manga.
She's very obscure. I didn't realize Sailor Moon had 2 daughters. So there's some trivia for you next time you go to Sailor Moon Trivia.
I'm sure all the Sailor Moon fans were like, duh, I totally knew that already.
Didn't.
So after Naruo, gets caught peeping, she is like...
Of course, it's like, gotta fuck.
Yeah, I mean, but while we're at it, how about while we give you a sex lesson.
Yes, let's
That
walk
way.
you through this.
It's not cheating
Hold
if I'm
your hand.
teaching you. It was so good that Usagi tells all her friends, the other Sailor Scouts, the outer Scouts aren't her friends anymore, I guess.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
She's just
They're
like,
too busy fucking each other.
So then she's like, all of you guys want to fuck
Yeah.
this kid, don't you?
I don't want to feel the guilt anymore. You guys fuck him too.
And they're like, yeah, we're
course.
so into it. So then you get to choose which Sailor Scout you want to fuck, and we chose Ray because she's our favorite.
The best.
And that's about it. That's the game as we know it.
Yeah. This seemed, well, not to get into it too much, but this did not seem to get into the supernatural aspects of Sailor Moon at all whatsoever. It was very
I don't think they were
like,
putting that much effort into it.
Yeah, living
just,
normal lives is certainly what they went with.
It's just our that we're taking the characters and this is what we're doing.
Yeah.
We're banging. Today's rating system is going to be negligent husbands.
Approps.
Poor Usagi. What the fuck, Mamoru? We're gonna start with the graphics of the game. Rory, what'd you give the graphics of Married Sailor Sluts?
I gave the graphics 4 out of 5 negligent husbands. I mean, I thought they were well done. It was nice, nicely done cutscenes and art styles. Very detailed, very vibrant. I really thought they stuck to the character designs fairly well from the show. So I thought it was pretty good. Well, I don't know. I always kind of venture into sexiness when I shouldn't be. So
No.
I'll save the sexiness. But like 4 out of 5 negligent husbands is what I feel like it deserved.
I gave it 3 out of 5 negligent husbands, mostly just because the art style was not my cup of tea. Like, I felt like their faces were really long and their boobs were really elongated, and like, it wasn't badly drawn, it just looked weird. Like, I felt like the anatomy was off, and I'm not an illustrator, so this is just coming from a viewer being like, everything looks just slightly weird to my eyes. I would have enjoyed it more if it was a little bit more like Moe, and, you know, Moe's like, cutesy. Like, I get they were trying to make her look like, mature, but like,
yeah, they're supposed to be
all of
ladies
those boobs looked deformed. They were
they all were. They were really
That's
weird.
not what boobs look like.
And that's where I'm like, is that into the sexiness category or the graphics? But I guess anatomy is kind of more of a graphics thing, so
they were drawn weird.
we can say that's where my one negligent husband went.
Well, I knocked it 2 negligent husbands because it affected my enjoyment of the game.
Yeah. So as for the gameplay, Allison, what did you rate the gameplay on this one?
There was no gameplay. I gave it 1 out of 5 negligent husbands just because I feel bad giving anything a 0. But there really wasn't any. Yeah. It was just click, click, click. It was just a story. Like, and a lot of hentai games are like that, but that's just not my cup of tea. However, I feel like the only thing that kept my interest about it, despite having no gameplay, was because I was interested in the Sailor Moon theme. If it were anything else, I don't think I would have stuck around. I would have been like, boring, you know, because I'm sorry, I'm not using this to like fap, so I need more.
I gave it the 0, the dreaded 0 negligent husbands for
I don't blame you.
Story, because for gameplay. Because, there really was none.
No.
It was just a click through. I would rather them have just maybe animated it and made a cartoon or something.
That costs way more money, Rory.
I know. But it's just like, or if there were some sort of options even for like, I mean, the only option we got was who to fuck first.
No, I forgot about that.
That's the only one.
There were
that's
options
your one.
in the settings, though.
Oh, well, customization.
There was some customization.
Is cool, but it was...
I guess it was really just the nipple color, though.
Yeah, and then I guess if you want the voices on or off. That's where the one negligent husband comes from, is the nipple coloring. But otherwise, very boring. Yeah. Just click through. Nothing to really play. Nope. It's just to watch. Yep. So, 0. No husbands for anyone!
No husband for you. Our next category is story. Rory, how many negligent husbands is worthy of Sailor Married Sluts, whatever?
Well, I gave it 3 out of 5 negligent husbands because it is a story I enjoy, which is Sailor Moon, and I always love a good sequel. Yep. So, and it was fun. I felt like it was well done. They were in character. I mean, like I was saying, I would have liked maybe to have some supernatural aspects work into it. It would have been fun. But, you know, as a story, it was interesting enough with seeing the children grow up and then fuck Sailor Moon. I mean, who wouldn't like that?
I gave it 4 out of 5 negligent husbands because it was Sailor Moon. Yeah. But Rory's right about it just being a generic plot other than that. I think the reason I rated it so high was because it seemed like they, you know, knew the Sailor Moon lore.
Yeah.
They cared enough to, like, you know, talk about all the characters.
And they knew this random second daughter she had where I didn't.
I know. I mean, they're obviously Sailor Moon fans.
They were the real deal.
And so, like I said at the beginning, because it was Sailor Moon, I was interested.
Mm-hmm.
But just because of that.
Yeah.
So my rating's probably a little higher than it deserves, but whatever. It was Sailor Moon, I liked it.
Alright, and now for the sexiness rating. How many negligent husbands does this get?
I gave it 4 out of 5 negligent husbands because, you know what? I'm not into, like, some of the words they were using, but they tried. The narration is like Discovery Channel. The young male.
Yeah, that should be Luna.
Usagi grinned with satisfaction at his behavior and licked her lips. Naru was too overwhelmed to notice that and could only groan while tasting the pleasure of having lost his virginity. Like, they tried to be creative with their descriptions. It went on a really long time.
Yeah.
So if you're into, like, nice, long sex scenes, like, this
Yeah.
is the game for you, because it was, like, sex, 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 and it was sex immediately. And so I think if you're wanting, like, a really detailed, decently written sex scene, this is the game for you.
Well, I was pretty harsh with my sexiness rating. I only gave it 2 out of 5.
Really?
Because for one, it was censored. So,
Oh.
major point loss for that.
Alright.
And, I mean, maybe there is an uncensored version somewhere, but
I don't know.
that is so lame.
That's so
But
common,
I get that that's
though.
a common thing, but
Yeah.
I don't care. I'm taking away points for that shit. Because we don't censor our pornography in America.
It's true, we don't. Guess that's what you get when you play an authentic Japanese hentai.
And then the anatomy too kind of comes into that too, where they've got like weird tits and stuff.
That
and,
was real weird.
And then I wasn't crazy about the descriptions. I thought they were funny.
Usagi smiled a gentle, motherly smile and pushed the tip of the meat rod she was holding against her wet meat crevice. The meat rod against the meat crevice.
But
they were.
If you're really into more of the talking and stuff and what they have to say to, and maybe with the voices on, you'd find it sexier and you'd enjoy that aspect of it. So
they did have everything was voice acted, and I feel like it was full voice acting. I'm just guessing.
Yeah.
But I feel like it was.
So that can add to the sexiness. So I mean, there's your two negligent husbands.
So overall, for Married Sailor Sluts, my rating that I gave it is 3 out of 5 negligent husbands.
I gave it 2.5 in all, negligent husbands. So we both
it's middle of the road.
probably, yeah.
You know, I think it's kind of like up to your preferences in this case. Like, if you're a Sailor Moon fan, definitely try it.
Mm-hmm.
But
if you're into old ladies, this game's for you.
They didn't look old.
They really didn't, except for I guess their tits were like down to their knees.
But once again, that's the artist's problem. That's the artist's problem. They didn't have to be like that.
They're a little chunky.
Anyway, thank you guys for watching another episode of The Probe. Let us know what you think. Give us suggestions for games. Tell us what you'd like to see. We want to hear from you. Comment below. That's it.
Yeah. Hope you enjoyed Super Sailor Sluts. Tune in for Super Sailor Sluts R next week. Just kidding. It's not going to happen.
Not next week.